Hey, it's Brian Bennett with Multiply Leaders. I'm excited to share with you 12 shifts to maximize your week. These are 12 shifts that I've experienced and am continuing to experience in my own life, but also 12 shifts that I've seen other leaders make that have helped them thrive and achieve the mission that they believe God has set before them. If we don't know how to maximize our week, at some point it's going to limit our leadership. It's going to limit our experiences, our gifts. It's going to limit the ability for us to live out our purpose. And so these are 12 shifts that we'll cover in these videos that I think are really powerful to kind of unlocking the fullness of who we are and stewarding. At the end of the day, it's a stewardship issue, stewarding our time and our energy and our talents well. We're going to jump into the first shift. It's to start with the vision, the shift from apathetic to inspired. So at the beginning of our week, it's to root ourselves in the vision that connects with our hearts in such a way that it energizes us. If we're not re-energizing ourselves by connecting to our vision, we all know if you've lived or led for any length of time that there's things that are going to take the vision out of you. It's going to suck the vision out of your heart. It's going to suck it out of your life. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be people. There's going to be testings and things that are just going to push against that. There are going to be pressures that come against you. And if we don't get reconnected with our vision, then we can easily find ourselves drifting into apathy instead of living with clarity and inspiration every day that's contagious to others. Here's 4 thoughts around this shift of moving from apathy to inspiration. It's the first thought is develop a purpose statement. When we have clarity about who we are and where our passion, our experiences, and our gifting comes together, that's where we discover our purpose. And if we can just craft a simple purpose statement that it kind of acts as north for us on a compass, it helps us remember who we are and what we've been called to. It really helps us stay clear and stay inspired in the midst of the challenges and the opportunities that are going to come our way as leaders. So to develop a purpose statement is the first encouragement for us, because once we have that every day, we can remind ourselves at the beginning of our day what our purpose is. Second thing is remind ourselves of the why before we begin the how. So every single day before we run into the office and start with the fullness of tasks and phone calls and emails and meetings that are waiting for us, if we can remind ourselves of why we're doing what we're doing, we're going to tap into the vision and we're going to tap into living from an inspired place, instead of walking into the office without a clue of why we're there, what we're doing, running into difficult conversation, running into a bunch of to-dos, and just feeling apathy kind of blanket over us. The third thought and encouragement is this: practice gratitude as a discipline. We can practice gratitude as a discipline by just reminding ourselves of what we can be thankful for. And as easy as that sounds, it's hard to do. It's far easier, isn't it, to focus on the problems. It's far easier to focus on the challenges. But if we can remind ourselves of what we are thankful for and practice that as a discipline on a daily basis. For me, sometimes I practice it in my car. When I'm doing it well, I'll practice it because I'll just leave the radio off, and as I drive from my house to my workplace, which is the church that I serve in, just to practice gratitude as I drive. And I sometimes practice an out loud conversation with God of gratitude, where I just thank Him for people in my life, for opportunities in my life, for blessings in my life, for who He is, and for who others are to me. So just practicing gratitude. It's easy for us to maximize the issues. It's easy for us to get tunnel focused on the problems, on the challenges. But what happens when we do that? We quickly find that our energy is gone. We don't have the energy to face the challenge. We're avoiding situations. We're avoiding people. If we can root ourselves in the vision, one of the ways that we can do that as well is to root ourselves in gratitude, and it changes our perspective for the day versus rooting ourselves in fear or in blame or in something else. Last thought is to make it about others. When I make my life about others, when I think about others, when I connect why I'm doing what I'm doing, no matter what it is, to others, it energizes me. It changes the game from, instead of being about me and my selfish desires and wants, and there's obviously a place, I'm a big advocate of self-care and soul care for ourselves, so I'm not saying don't take care of ourselves, But what I am saying is if our motivation is simply about a title or money or a bigger house or a nicer car or something else, or even fame and recognition, if our fame at the end of the day is just about us, then we've missed what we were made for. And our hearts will always be less than the fullness of what they could be, because we were made to serve others. In the very beginning of Genesis, God blesses and commissions us to go on mission and to care for His creation, and ultimately to be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. It was always for others. It was always from the beginning about serving and cultivating, not just for our own selfish gain, but for the good of others. When we can root our vision and root the why of what we're doing into about lifting others up and serving them, it inspires us and engages us in a far deeper way, and ultimately leaves us living a motivated life. So make it about others is the fourth thought. Here we go. We've got 11 more to go. The first one is this: every single day, every single week, block out time to start with the vision, the shift from apathy to inspired.